and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gorilla Press Podcast. We are back once again. We were off last week to take a little break. There wasn't a ton going on, really, Toaster, but there is plenty going on this week. There was plenty that happened this weekend. There's plenty that happened on Raw. Now, if we were a television show, it would say previously on the Gorilla Press Podcast, and you would show a segment of you saying something along the lines of, where's the excitement? Where's the big angle? We need something Road to WrestleMania-ish. It's like Triple H watched our show because on the press conference he says, he questions the media like us, and he says, do you feel like you're on your road to WrestleMania now? Because now I feel like we're on our road to WrestleMania. When the moment happened at Elimination Chamber, I messaged you and I said, is this the big angle you've been looking for? Because at the Elimination Chamber, we had several big things happen. Toaster, give us your thoughts on the Elimination Chamber.
I just want to get into, well, the whole show was great, but the Cena angle. This is what I've been talking about. This is exactly what I mean. This is how I see this angle. Doing this and changing Cena into a heel, it's like a baseball team signing their new cleanup hitter. It makes everybody else better. Every other storyline is you're more focused now. And they're gonna, the performers are gonna step up now even more. It's that big of a deal. It's like signing the new cleanup hitter to your team. Everybody is gonna be better now. That's how big this is.
Yes, I was extremely impressed with Elimination Chamber. I love the outcome, the match, the surprises. I feel like Triple H, they did a really good job of throwing some swerves in there, stuff I did not see coming. I did not see the John Cena's heel turn. That's what made it so special, and it was done to absolute perfection. The hug, the stare, all of that stuff was absolutely perfect. Talking about other stuff that happened at the Elimination Chamber, I felt like the women's match was very good. I think you have a very, very good storyline working up with Jade, Bianca, and Naomi. With Jade coming in, taking out Naomi, I should say. I really feel like you're going to have layers in this story where it's not going to be very clear cut who the heel and face are going to be. Until the very end of the story. That's where I'm gathering from Jade attacking Naomi. Jade may feel vindicated in attacking Naomi, feeling like Naomi attacked her. Now, my gut tells me that did not happen. We'll talk about that a little bit later. That was a great Elimination Chamber match. Props to Liv Morgan. I think she worked her ass off in that Elimination Chamber. One of the best performances I've ever seen her do.
She got beat.
She got beat down.
Literally.
And Bianca, she was there from the beginning to the very end.
When Bianca, that spot with the hair, and she hit her with it, oh my God, I couldn't watch it. When they kept showing the replay, it hurts me. It hurts me, bro. Oh, God.
You heard that snap.
Oh, my God,
it was brutal,
bro.
Man. It was so brutal. But this show reminded me why I am a wrestling fan. I told my wife, this kind of show right here, it makes me not embarrassed to be a wrestling fan. When you look at the storylines, when you look at how things kind of came to be, when you look at stuff they set in motion a year ago with all of this, with the thing, that John Cena does, that just little tiny stuff like that. Now you have speculation. Is there another person going to be joining this group of The Rock and John Cena and Travis Scott? I don't know.
How do you feel
Will
about
there
that,
be somebody else? I have said for months now that LA Knight needs to go heel. I don't think the babyface LA Knight is as hot as he once was, and he's also better as a heel. You have too many baby faces. It's something we have been complaining about on this podcast since we started doing this podcast. Way too many baby faces, and now they're trying to even it out. And I think they're doing a very, very good job. This Elimination Chamber is a 2 thumbs up for me. And if I were to rate it on a 1 to 10 scale, I would definitely give it a 9.
How did you feel about Travis Scott being involved in that whole scene? Do you think he ruined it a little bit? Or
I don't think he ruined it a little bit. I don't really care for the celebrities and all this stuff, but it's not about me. It's about appealing to a casual fan, to a fan like my son who likes rap music. It appeals to people like him that
Right.
aren't necessarily really in the kind of flirt with watching wrestling. But then when they see somebody who is outside of wrestling, in wrestling, it draws their attention. I
I'm with
remember my
you.
son being really into the Bad Bunny match and just watching it right up against the screen, man. He was so into it. I've never seen him into another match. And what drew him into that was the celebrity of Bad Bunny
Yeah.
being brought into the company. So it's not about what I like, it's about what appeals to the masses. And I do think it appeals to the mass. I think it gives it kind of a
An edge,
okay, what
maybe.
I think they're going for real fast, because we got to move on. What I think they're going for is this, like, The Rock is like a P. Diddy character. He's so famous, he's got such an ego. He wants to own everybody. He wants to tell everybody what to do. He's a control freak. And then you have John Cena, which matches that perfect. You have these two celebrity assholes who think they're bigger than the business, who think they understand more than your common wrestler. And I like that. I really, really enjoy that. So you have Travis Scott available, you add him to the mix. He's a rich, asshole celebrity. It kind of all goes with it. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you feel about it? Do you not really like the Travis Scott edition?
At first, I was like, why is he there? You know, like, did he
Mm-hmm.
really need to be there for this angle? And then later on, I'm like, you know something? It kind of solidified it a little bit. It kind of
It
showed
did.
like it's a celebrity thing.
Yes.
That's exactly what it was.
This
That's
has
how I.
never really been done, and this is the best heel turn since Hogan in 1996. This, I mean, I did not see this coming. It floored me. So hats off to WWE. It was executed absolutely perfect.
Really was. Well done. And I just want to say this too. It's not like we were shitting on the product the past month or two.
No,
We kept saying these are good shows. We just want a little bit more. These are good shows. We just want a little bit more. And we got it.
buddy, they
We
got
got
it right now. That's what I've been saying. That's what I said last time we were on here. I said, if you don't like the Jey Uso and Gunther match, well, you're gonna have plenty outside of that.
Yeah,
So
there's
don't
so
whine
much
and
more.
complain too much, because you're getting a heel Cena versus Cody. You're
Yeah.
getting Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. It appears you're getting some kind of variation of CM Punk, Seth Rollins, possibly a Roman Reigns thrown in there. I don't know quite where they're going there, but that's
Yeah.
good. I don't want to know every
I don't
single
want to know.
thing.
I don't want
Yeah,
to know.
yeah. So they're keeping my interest. They're keeping me involved. Good job. How? What did you think of Raw this week? I thought Raw was a pretty good show.
Raw was good, man. I mean,
They're
Raw was good.
progressing a lot of stuff that's going down
Right.
for WrestleMania. So I
There's
like that.
angles. Things are happening. You know? Rollins, Punk, that big steel cage match
Oh,
next
I
week.
enjoyed that pull apart. It was great.
That was a great pull. And the Punk promo was fantastic in the beginning of the show.
Absolutely, where when he just
Yeah, he was
absolutely
abusing
just went
everybody. He was
off.
good.
That
He
was
was on
great.
his game, bro. Everybody's on that game right now. It was a good show. Nah, we're on the road now.
Now you can tell the story for the next year, even after Mania, where CM Punk's still fighting and clawing and scratching his way to get to that main event at WrestleMania. But Triple H also said that is up for grabs. I think he's going to go based on the performances and
I
the
agree.
interest level of the fans, which is not a bad idea.
Not at all. Not at all.
And
You
right
know,
now, I got to go with Cody and John Cena for that main event
that's a
spot.
definite. That's a
For night
definite
two,
main event
anyways.
of night two. Night two, that's the night two main event. The night one
Please,
main event's up in
please.
the air. Night one's up in the air.
Interest is at an all-time high for that. I love how I speculated a while back, boy, it would be kind of weird, but it would be really, really cool and different to see Cena on his last run be a heel.
Well, we're getting
He
it.
did say, I'll do anything to get that WWE Championship. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, there are so many things set in motion, man. We could spend
I can't wait.
30 minutes really breaking that one down, because it was very, very good.
I can't wait for the segments.
Yeah.
Before Mania. I can't wait
Oh
to
my
see
God,
what
yeah. He'll be on Raw in a couple of weeks. It's let it fester a little bit. Let it hype up a little bit. John Cena's got a lot of
he's gonna beat the shit out
questions
of
to
Rey
answer,
Mysterio. He's going to beat the crap out of Mysterio, probably. Something like that. You got to go after a big baby face.
Oh, yeah. All right, just moving on to top news. The WWE 2K25 releases this week. It has been the top news on our page. It's been what everybody's been talking about. This is a news segment I forgot to mention. I'm an idiot. It's called Top News, the 3 count. And the number one, of course, like I just mentioned, WWE 2K25 being the top news. And then for the number 2, we got Natty being on NWA's biggest show of the year, NWA 77, coming up this fall. Or I'm sorry, in August. It should be later summer. NWA 77. You got Natty joining the roster. Natalia from the WWE. WWE branching out once again to work with other companies. Mr. Thomas, what do you think about this?
That's different. I mean, something different.
Yeah.
It's cross-promoting. It's...
Natty really goes well with the NWA and their style, and they're kind of old school a little bit. So she kind of fits in there nice.
She's going to be on that Bloodsport too, I think I saw. What's that
they've
called?
been working with GCW and Bloodsport work together.
Right,
so
right.
It's like WWE just works with everybody but AEW. And for the final 3 count, of course, we just mentioned it. We can't talk about it enough. And that's John Cena finally turning heel and shocking the WWE Universe, shocking everybody. Overall thoughts on the John Cena turning heel?
Is it the number one of all time? It's in the conversation. I think it's in the conversation. It's
definitely debatable, right?
Yeah, I don't think it is, but it's up there just because he was face for so long. That's why.
Right.
It's really, really, really big. But I don't think it beats Hogan.
There was something about Hogan. It was like, I wasn't even a giant Hogan fan at the time in '96, but when Hogan turned heel, it was like, oh, anybody can go bad guy now. Yeah. Anybody can turn heel now. After that, my faith in humanity had been lost at that point in '96. So it was like at that point there was so much stuff done in the '90s with very limited internet that it's going to be hard to top. I remember seeing the TLC match at WrestleMania 17 and saying, "How do you top that? You don't really top. You can't top that really. As far as match is concerned or whatever storyline, obviously you can, but nothing shocks me is my point I'm trying to make. Nothing shocks me anymore, hardly. But the John Cena did surprise me for a brief moment. I was like, whoa. Okay.
Oh, I was shocked, bro. I was happy. I was like,
oh yeah. With the Hogan thing, I was kind of like, being as a kid, though, I was kind of like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the ultimate good guy. What the hell?
Good.
Where do they go from here?
I'm all for it.
But I love it. They needed heels on the WWE roster. This is a perfect time to pull the trigger. He's not in the top 5 as far as merch sales anymore. Perfect time to pull the trigger. Nobody saw it coming. He's not making the company or himself a shit ton of money like he once was with his merchandise. Perfect time to turn him. No one saw it coming.
Nope.
All right. That ends the top news for the 3 count. Let's move right on. Let's talk about rumors. I've got a hot rumor that nobody else has that I haven't heard Dave Meltzer say. I haven't heard anybody talk about. And
good for them, man.
Yeah. We'll have to see.
I want to see if anybody can beat that number 2 spot. I want to see somebody get that number 2 spot.
It's just because it should be up for the taking because they're not doing a very good job of keeping the viewer interested. TNA. I still say TNA can get that number 2 spot, bro. But, working with WWE, they could definitely help them.
I've been watching NXT a little bit more.
Yeah, I am really
NXT's
digging
good.
NXT. I think they've done a very good job. Shawn Michaels
NXT's a
is
good
really.
show.
It has.
It's a good
Shawn
show.
Michaels has done a good job.
Sean's done a great job. I love it. I think it's so cool that DX runs the wrestling business.
That is,
Basically,
oh man, I never would have thought that back
it's
in
unbelievable.
1997 or so.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
It's fun.
yeah, it's crazy.
I like it.
Absolutely nuts. All right, we're going to move on to a new segment we have, Toaster, and this is called Not a Prediction, It's a Spoiler, where we try to predict the future and the outcomes. It kind of goes with your name, Toaster Damas, right? So,
I predict the future of wrestling.
yes, and I'm going to predict the future of wrestling. I'm going to predict it right now because with all the events that went down this past weekend, this past week, let's start throwing our predictions out there. My prediction is this: that Jade was not attacked by Naomi. Jade was not attacked by Liv Morgan or the Judgment Day or any other female on the roster except this one woman, Bianca Belair. Her shine has worn off as far as a babyface. Let's face it. Babyface versus babyface doesn't always sell. Look at how they just turned John Cena. And now, going into this, you have Io Sky, who just defeated Rhea Ripley, which was a complete surprise. I do feel like Rhea Ripley will get back into that match somehow, some way. But my prediction is that Bianca Belair was behind the attacks of Jade Cargill. It's been rumored months and months ago. They say they weren't really getting along that great backstage. They wanted to separate the two. This is how you separated the two. She's back. I don't think it was Naomi. Again, I think Naomi somehow and all this took the fall for Bianca Belair, who took out Jade Cargill. So Bianca Belair, look for her to turn heel. That's my prediction. Look for her to turn heel for her matchup against Io Sky and possibly Rhea Ripley. Bianca Belair goes heel. You saw a little bit of it Monday night when she interfered somewhat in her match with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, and she was very, very confident and cocky in a way, arrogant in a way. I think that we're seeing the beginning stages of somebody who took out her tag partner, and we'll find out the motives in the next few weeks. Maybe even Jade gets involved and costs Bianca Belair a match against Rhea Ripley, which gets Rhea Ripley into that match. I don't know how it's going to go down, but my main, not a prediction, it's a spoiler, and that's Bianca Belair goes heel before the WrestleMania match. What do you think, Toaster Damas? Do you think that's a decent spoiler?
Oh, yeah. I think it's definitely Bianca, but I think she's with Naomi. I do. I think they both did it.
See, that's interesting. I think that it looks like Jade's the heel, but I love how the story and how you have to keep guessing, like, well, maybe she's justified in beating up Naomi. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see so many maybe heel and face turns in this. I'm very, very invested in this top story. To me, it's a lot more interesting than Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair.
I think Naomi actually did it, and Bianca put her up to it. She's the boss, and Naomi was the hitman.
Damn. I can't wait to see how this turns out, man.
No, it's awesome.
Because the fans are booing Jade for doing that, but then, like, it might be the first time ever where they're making the storylines a little bit more complicated. They're not questioning the intelligence of the wrestling audience. They're not making it so cut and dry.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, a few weeks later, they might be like, well, damn, we should have been cheering her for beating up Naomi for what, you know, how they treated her and what they did to her. I don't know. Bianca Belair will go heel in her match at WrestleMania. I feel like that's the way they should go. Yeah. And nobody would really see it coming, really. Except, of course, us. Right? Do you have not a prediction, it's a spoiler, or do you want to jump on my bandwagon with the Naomi thing? That's actually, I like that.
Yeah, no, I think just that Naomi, I think they're together. I do. And I think somehow they're going to wind up with the Street Profits in the end of all this.
I like that. Yeah, with Bianca and Montel being together, so that totally makes sense. All right, let's skip to our what the fuck moment of the week. It's the what the fuck moment of the week, and I'm gonna give you my what the fuck moment of the week. And my what the fuck moment of the week is something y'all may not even be thinking about, and you're probably gonna be like, Trey, that's a ridiculous what the fuck moment of the week. But right before we went on air, they released the DLC for the new WWE 2K25. And although there is a lot of great names on there, like a Jesse Ventura, Junkyard Dog, Abyss, New Jack, what? Blew my mind. Excellent DLC there. There are some stinkers as well. They did not correct their mistake from last year, putting the Pat McAfee pack out with a bunch of football players, broke down football players that don't even play football anymore, who have no interest in wrestling, have never done anything in wrestling. They put a pack out of them instead of giving us more legends or more new talent. Well, they did it again this year. They put out all these great talents on the DLC. Bravo to WWE. But my what the fuck moment of the week is putting NBA players on the game. They say three NBA players on the game, Toaster Damas, and I think that is absolutely ridiculous. When I play a wrestling game, I don't play a wrestling game to play with basketball players. When I play a basketball game, I'm not fucking dribbling down the court with Penta or John Cena. I'm playing it to play a basketball game with basketball players. So I don't want NBA players. I don't want to pay for NBA players to be in my wrestling game. I have no interest in this. That is my what the fuck moment of the week. I think it is completely ridiculous to put NBA players in there when you don't even have somebody like Demolition, who you just signed to a Legends contract. You could have put them in there. You could have put Joe Henry in there, a guy that you've been pushing from TNA, because you have other TNA talents in there like Abyss and Jordan Gracie. So what the fuck are you thinking, WWE, putting NBA players in a fucking wrestling game? Because last time I checked, I haven't seen no NBA players show up in WWE. You could have put a Lawrence Taylor in there and I would have been fine, because he was at WrestleMania 11. That at least makes sense. But like I said, the what the fuck moment of the week is putting NBA players in a wrestling game. All right, rant over with. Give me your what the fuck moment of the week.
Trey likes his video games. You know, he likes them pure. That's fun. So,
Hey,
my what the fuck moment has to be Cody Rhodes saying, "Go fuck yourself, Rock."
woo!
When he said that, I went, "It's about friggin' time." All I wanted was one. That's all. All I wanted was one.
And why not? We're on pay-per-view. We're on Peacock or a PLE. The kids are probably gone to bed. It's getting kind of late.
I loved it. It was fine. Fine by me.
Sometimes it's the heat of the moment, and sometimes you need a bit of that realism. And when he said it, I could not believe it. I turned over to my wife. I said, well, that wasn't very PG.
No, that's over.
But yeah, I like that. I like that what the fuck moment of the week. All right, we got to wrap things up. All right, what's going on this weekend? We got AEW Revolution. AEW, here is your challenge. Get us talking about your product. You got to put out something big here at Revolution. There's been reports you're no longer in talks with Shane McMahon. That was just something in passing. So where is this story going with Moxley? Maybe it's not going anywhere. Maybe you need to correct it and make it go somewhere. Make it make sense. We need big things out of this Revolution pay-per-view, because right now you got Mania going on and nobody gives a crap about your product. Nobody gives a shit about AEW right now. So, and it's pay-per-view time. It's time to get people to buy your pay-per-view. You're on traditional pay-per-view. You charge $40 a pay-per-view. Give me a reason to want to get your pay-per-view and say, you know what? WWE is doing a lot of great things, but AEW is too. That's not the case right now. We need something really, really big from the AEW Revolution pay-per-view coming up this weekend. So that's your challenge.
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch Revolution.
I spend $5 to $10 to watch a excellent pay-per-view like Elimination Chamber, one of the best I've ever seen, and you're asking me to spend $40 on your product, so you better have a hot damn show. That's coming up this weekend, AEW Revolution. We're plugging it for you guys as well. Not that they need our help. Yeah, and that's what's going on this weekend. As far as plugging stuff, we got a Gorilla Press Indie podcast coming out in later March, where I'll be hosting it with T.Y. Sutton, and we'll be talking about the event that Gorilla Press is sponsoring. We got a lot of things going on. Gorilla Press Pro has a little show coming out pretty soon. We'll release that. It's about fantasy wrestling. You got different people performing, and it's silly. It's supposed to be goofy.
Fun.
What else do we have here? That's about it, pretty much.
Yeah, we went through.
That's about all we got going on. Toastradamus, do you have anything going on?
I got nothing going on. I just want to see some good shows, baby. I just want to see some good shows going into the road to WrestleMania. That's what I want.
Man, I can't wait. All right, as far as that, we got a 90s trivia coming up next week. I'm going to try to set up between A-List Alverson and the 90s pro wrestler, Mr. Johnny Ramone. We'll see what happens there. We'll see if they have accepted the challenge. We just got to get a time and date set. This will be a Gorilla Press podcast exclusive. This will not be a part of our regular show. And Toastradamus has thrown his hat in there, and he's going to compete. It's going to be an old-fashioned three-way dance. That's what they called it in the 90s, a three-way dance. ECW called it that. And then they moved on to the triangle match, and now it's a triple threat. So whatever you want to call it, we're going to find out who knows their 90s wrestling knowledge coming up.
I want to see how good I am.
That is going to be a hot show. I can't wait. We'll definitely plug that. But we're going to get out of here. Please like and share our podcast. We beg of you to help us grow, because our success is your success. I guess that's it.
I guess we did it.